Good morning, everyone. I'm Lori Mazor. I'm the CEO of the company called Synthetivity. Synthetivity is a word that combines synthesis and creativity because everything that we generate is coming from the world that's around us. I started this company about 10 years ago, but I pivoted very recently into AI. I thought maybe it would be fun to start using it as an artistic tool. I was trained as an architect, and about a year ago, I left my corporate job in order to figure out what was next, and I started playing around with AI. Well, I became an AI generative artist. I've developed a whole body of work, and then I thought, well, I wonder if corporate executives could value this kind of training. And so I started a company that trains people like you to use generative AI. This talk is going to be 10 AI tools that all of you can and should be using. It took me 10 hours to develop this, but I'm going to present it to you in 10 minutes. And I'm going to tell you the story of Alex. Alex is here. Alex is the CEO of a company called Innotech, and MetTel is one of his partners. And has anybody seen Alex? Maybe he's in the bathroom. So all of the materials you're going to see today are all generated with AI. This is Alex with his family. And I say that I teach AI with a human touch, which means that let's put people first. Why do we want to use these technologies? So that we can spend more time with our friends and our families, so that we can spend more time living real life. So Alex invited me to come and shadow him for a day. And we started with his morning planning with ChatGPT. This is Alex sitting at his computer with his morning coffee. And we ran through a simple question. We gave it a little bit of context for who Alex is and what his day is going to be all about. Alex had a really busy day, and he wanted to meet with his team to do a lot of things. And so he asked ChatGPT to give it to him in a bulleted format in a table that he could follow his schedule for the day. I use this every day. I start my morning with ChatGPT on one of my screens, and this is the way that I figure out my day. And as I'm going through, I can even say, you know what, I just completed this task, and now I'm ready for the next one. And so he did that so quickly that he was ready to do a competitive analysis. But this time, he's going to use Bing. Bing is Microsoft's version of ChatGPT, but it has the added benefit of connecting to the internet. So he can start asking questions. And so he wants to know what's a good product that his company might develop in the market. And the space that they're in is in a product that could help clean the air. And so he's asking for who are the competitors in the wearable products, right? Something that you could just like wear around your neck or maybe have on your cell phone. And Bing gives a whole analysis of who the competitors are in the space. It even goes so far as to come up with who Alex is, right? You'll see here that there's actually a real person. Obviously, Alex is fake. There's a real person named Alex Johnson, and he really works at Innotech. So this was just the second thing that Alex did in his day. Then Alex was preparing to go into a meeting. He had gotten some really good ideas about a product that they could develop as a wearable, and he wanted to work with his team to figure out how they could develop that. So they all got together, and they decided, what if we were to come up with something that was like integrated with a watch? So they had a whole bunch of products out there, and they were demoing. And then they said, well, let's work with Midjourney, which is an image generation app. And let's prompt it with the idea of an eco-friendly air monitoring band with sensors, make it sleek and stylish, right? We want it to be integrated with the Apple Watch. And so he got a whole bunch of images. And some of them looked, maybe like a Garmin watch, or some of them, looked like maybe there was some like cool glowing technology, but he really, really liked the white one, which had an air monitoring sensor that was integrated into the band. And so his team then took this design and decided that they would build some prototypes. So after they were done with that meeting, Well, he had a little bit of time on his hands, and so why not meet with the marketing team? And with the marketing team, well, they could take that product and develop an entire ad campaign. And with this one, they're going to use Canva, which is a basic tool that just about everybody can use. It's really easy to develop graphic design. And they took some of the images that they had in Midjourney, but they also started prompting within Canva, which draws on the DALL-E app that you've heard about. And so, he wanted to present a family that's out in nature, and they have a child with allergies, and so they're really concerned about the quality of the air as they're leaving their home, where they have an air monitor in their home, but now they have it on their watch, right? And here's that beautiful image that we had generated, and then he gets some family images to complete the advertising campaign. Well, he's done with that. But now he has to meet with the board. And he wants to tell the board about this amazing product that they've just developed, and he has to write an email. And so he decides that he's going to work in Google Docs with a ChatGPT integrator, GPT-4. So he takes some of the information that they've developed using ChatGPT about what the product is, what the product features are, what the target market is, and he then works right within Google Docs to frame a question and ask it to develop an email that would go out to the board that would invite them to the product launch, which would be right before the board meeting when he would make his presentation. And wait for it. It's really awesome. So, as he's waiting for it, he's running to the bathroom, he's talking to some of his colleagues in the hallway. And there we are. Dear, bracket, chairman name, I'm excited to inform you about the upcoming launch of a revolutionary new product. And his board email is done, and he's ready to move on with his day. So now he has some revenue information that he's gotten from his CFO. And normally he would just type that into Google Sheets or maybe Excel, but to generate a pivot table and to generate a graph, that's just a lot of work. And so, he just took 12 months worth of projected revenue data, and he plugged it into this nifty app he found called ChartGPT. And there you go. It took about 2 seconds. And he has a graph that he can integrate into his board presentation. And so he thought, well, next, it's 3 o'clock. Let's do some market research. I know I've gotten some data from some surveys that we'd done with customers, and he sits down with his chief marketing officer, and they load that up into Google Sheets, and also with the GPT-4 application, they are running. So he's now able to use natural language to ask questions in a spreadsheet, right? So he uploads all his customer data. Some people like the product, some people didn't like the product, some people like certain features. He asks it to summarize. He asks it to give a bulleted list. And so he has all of his market analysis ready to go as he enters into his board presentation. And so, I don't know how many of you have to spend time making presentations. Show of hands, anybody? Anybody use PowerPoint or a Google product? Yeah. It's the bane of my existence. And so I found this really cool app that I thought Alex might like. It's called Beautiful AI. Basically, you just type in an outline of the presentation. We pick a nice style, a theme. We click Create Presentation. It's like 4 o'clock. Maybe I'm going to go get some coffee. Call home, see what my daughter's doing. See if the dogs are still alive at home. Oh, there you go. We have an entire presentation on the AirGuard watch band, the ultimate health companion fit for your child. Now, it probably needs a little massaging, but it's pretty good. It gives a slide that introduces the AirGuard watch band. It's got, some bullet points of what its value is. It gives real-time alerts and notifications, actionable insights and suggestions. I think we're ready to go. And so it's 5 o'clock. I mean, it's really the end of his day, but he started his career in programming, and so why not just whip up a little app to go with the AirGuard that could go onto the Apple Watch? So he just asks a quick question. Can you write the code for a companion app on the Apple Watch with sensor data, measuring the air quality? I want you to display a green light if the air quality is good and a red light if it's bad. And then, if it's bad for a significant period of time, I'd like you to sound an alarm. Well, we know that GPT chat can write code, and well, there you go. Now, it's not the full code, but it is a Swift code that he could then pass on to his real development team and say, okay, this is my idea. I'd like you to get started on this. Here's a place to start. So he's clearly had such a productive day that it's time for him to head off to the conference. And he's not going to be able to be home with his child, Max, and he really wants to tell Max all about his day, and so he decides to write a bedtime story for Max.
Together, they went on exciting adventures every day to make the world a better place. One bright morning, Alex and Artie planned their day full of important tasks. They began by discovering new ideas in a faraway land called Bing. Artie helped Alex search for information about a special watch that could help people breathe clean air. Next, they ventured to the magical kingdom of Midjourney, where they came up with creative ideas for a brand new product. With Artie's help, Alex designed a beautiful advertisement in Canva, a land full of colors and shapes. They even created a dazzling presentation in Beautiful.ai to share their findings with the world. And so, after a long and productive day, Alex and Artie knew that they had accomplished great things together, making the world a little bit brighter for everyone.
And the best part is that Alex's son, Max, had very sweet dreams about AI. That's the end.